District, Jeff Perry.
Thanks, Jim, and thanks for not wearing the kilt tonight. You know, he is a prominent individual, and I have to say, if you've never been to the State House when we're in session, there's a rope line with a lobbyist stand, and I'm going to go wait for the mic for a minute. Jim stands there like this as we walk by, looking at us as if we were the enemy. And quite frankly, sometimes we are. Beacon Hill is broken. Capitol Hill is broken. I keep thinking that government is going to hear the message of us. I keep thinking with the rise of the Tea Party that government is going to hear us. I keep thinking when we have these special elections in New Jersey, Virginia, January 19th, Hawaii, that government is hearing our call. That government is hearing that we are sick and tired of the growth of government, the influence of government, and government not listening to us. But I can assure you, government is not listening. The folks on the inside are not listening. We have some great elected officials, Democrat and Republican. Senator Moore, a fine public servant who gets it. Representative Don Humison gets it. A lot of legislators on both sides of the aisle get it. But unfortunately, this governor and the majority of legislators don't get it. I want to expand on something that Jim talked about with the one gun a month bill and tell you exactly what happened from the inside of the State House. The bill was in a committee. It had a hearing. So far, so good. They have an executive session, which means the members of that committee get a notice that they get to vote on the bill. It's been published. You get an email. You get a phone call. You get to vote on the bill. Here's the timeline. I believe it was 4 o'clock on the given day. You can vote yes, no, or you can reserve your rights, which means that you've read the bill, you understand it, but you don't have enough information, or you're afraid to take a position on the issue. Time is ticking, tick, tick, tick. Time closes, 4 to 4. Process sounds pretty honest and open so far. 4 to 4 is a tie. A tie is a loss. The bill should fail under our own rules, under the rules that we have as a legislature. That wasn't good enough for the governor, and that wasn't good enough for some of the legislative leaders who want to trample on your constitutional rights for political purpose and get this bill to pass. So the bill comes to the floor with an unfavorable report, which in 99.9% of the time means the bill is dead. But the legislative leaders being pushed by this governor decide they're going to break the rules and they're going to do what they want. They force it to the floor with very little notice. As Jim said, sometimes we don't get notice at all. We see what they're doing. They want to send the bill back to committee. They want to send it back not because there's new information, not because there's some revelation that this is a good bill. They want to send it back to committee because they want to twist some arms. They want to put some political pressure on those folks who voted to reserve their rights or not take a position and have a different outcome. To me, that is a broken political process. That is a dishonest political process when if you don't get it your way the first time, when the rules are followed, you use your power, you use your influence, you use your position of authority as a legislative leader or the governor to make sure you get what you want for your political purposes. We fought on the House floor. We did the best that we could. We lost. They sent it back to committee. And shocking, 6-5, favorable. So now the one gun a month bill is coming back to the House for a debate. And I am not a pessimist, but with all the pressure that this governor is putting on members of his party, and all the promises and the cajoling and the political maneuvering that's going on, because he wants to use this as a victory in November, I am very uncertain of the outcome. I charge you over this next week. We're in session again on Wednesday. We don't know if this bill is coming up or not. They don't tell us what's coming up that far in advance because we could mobilize. I charge you to stay in touch with goal this week and for these next 5 weeks of this session. Be ready to activate. Be prepared to speak out and let your legislator know. And not only on this bill, as we go into the fall and we come into the election season, activate like you've never activated before. Find a candidate who has the same values that we have and support them. If your legislator is good, Republican or Democrat, support them. If your legislator is bad, find somebody who can do a better job. Because we are at a crossroads in this country. Looking back to our founders and the Bill of Rights, we know why the Second Amendment is there. We know that it was put there by our founders to protect us from a tyrannical government. We know from history, world history, that whenever a government is about to be an oppressive government and take away all of our liberties, the first thing they do is disarm us. This one-gun-a-month bill, while some people don't understand the impact of it, is a step in that direction, is an incremental infringement on our Second Amendment rights. And we need to mobilize, we need to stop it. We can't let our incremental rights be eroded as they have been in this state. This is a crossroad. We're going to look back, maybe not us, maybe we won't be here. But the next generation and the future generations are going to look back on this time period in history. A time period when we're giving things away to the federal government. A time period when we're turning over the healthcare system to the federal government. A time period when we're looking at immigration and saying, we don't know what to do. A time period when we're giving corporate bailouts without any strings attached. A time period when our civil rights, our Second Amendment rights, are being eroded. Jim mentioned the decline in numbers of folks who have license to carry. That is not because we are a safer community. That is not because less people are interested in firearm ownership. That is not because we have less sportsmen. It is because of an overburdensome, over-expensive, overreaching government that's making it harder for you to comply, making it more difficult for new individuals to obtain their license to carry. We're going to look back at this time period and say, this is a turning point. Does America go back to our founding principles? Do we get back to our constitutional values? Do we get back to a more limited government, one of personal freedoms and personal responsibilities? Or was this the time period when we gave everything away? I'm optimistic. I think this is the turning point when America, people from Massachusetts, people all across this country have had enough. They're rising up, they're waking up. So I urge you, I charge you, I implore you, stand by Goal. Stand by Jim. He's all alone in that hallway, fighting for your rights. This organization is the safeguard to our civil liberties. Stand by Goal. Stand by your elected leaders who are with you. This is a fight for our Constitution. This is a fight for our state, and this is a fight for our country. Don't give up. The stakes are too high. God bless you, and thank you for allowing me to say hello.